Hello and welcome back. This is Sandra Connor, Lady Marketing Ninja, and today, my very first interview, I'm interviewing Jamie Peth with Leeway Designs. We actually met in the KBB Accelerator Club, and we've stayed in touch, and I'm in her Facebook group, she's in my Facebook group, and we're just helping each other out. And I thought when she posted last week about how you can create boatloads of content fast for your Facebook group, I said, that is perfect. That is exactly what my audience is going to want to see and hear. So I reached out to her and she said, sure, she would love to come on the podcast. So here she is. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Super appreciate to be on with you.
I'm excited. So tell us what Leeway Designs. Tell us your business.
You bet. So the business is Leeway Design. And the reason I named it that is because my middle name is Lee. And I like to do it the Lee way,
right.
Which is kind of silly. But yeah, basically, I was in a corporate job that was super safe, super stable, had a great team, and I was completely unfulfilled. Completely unfulfilled.
Been there, done that.
Yep. And I didn't know why. Like, why was I having these feelings? And that's how I stumbled upon KBB, which is how Sandra and I connected. But I knew there was something more. I knew there had to be more to my career and fulfillment and generate income and impact. Like, that was really an important journey I wanted to go down. So that's essentially how Leeway Design was born. And I did everything wrong for the first year. My first year, I believe I generated $24,000. So that stable job sure looked good. And I'll be honest, I considered going back. It was a tough ride.
Yes.
But you know, I really, what was that?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Being an entrepreneur is a tough ride.
It is a tough ride, but it's worth it. And so sticking with it, you know, I finally found my system, my framework, and in the framework I could help my clients create success in the online space, because the beauty of being online is you can connect with so many other people. Like, your reach is massive.
Yes.
And what you can do with those connections, you can do it from anywhere in the world. So it's kind of this beautiful marriage of having the ability to create impact, build an online business and income, but also have real relationships with people all over the world.
That is one of the things I've enjoyed most about this journey is, you know, you think that, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I can't just go to my coworker and say, how do you do X, Y, and Z? You know, you have to figure it out yourself. But the connections that you can make with people, you know, you can still have that even though you're not going to a 9 to 5 every day. You can still make the friends, you can still reach out, you can still have your social networks that you had while you were in the job that you hated.
Exactly.
So what does Leeway Designs do?
We started out as a social media agency, essentially, and we're on the posting hamster wheel. Let's post every single day. And it was draining the life out of me. So really, we went hard on Facebook groups and using a group and a community approach. And there's different strategies that will work for everyone. The key is finding a strategy that works for you. But Leeway Design, we help people build their online community through real relationships, real conversations, and what we see is real results because of that.
Awesome. That sounds exciting. So how did you come up with your boatloads of content fast, how to create it?
So one of the big, and you know what, your people are going to tell you what they want. Think of your own audience. Your own audience asks probably the same question over and over and over again with different language, right?
Right.
So in my case, one of the common things I was hearing was, how do I come up with content ideas? So for example, I go live in my Facebook group once a week. It's a 3 posting strategy. You post once to get everybody excited about what's coming. You do a training once a week, and then you add value the 3rd time a week. So post less to grow more is kind of the way we operate this container. But even so, that's 52 weeks a year you need to go live and teach something. It's a lot of content.
Yes, it is.
Exactly. And so, I actually learned this tool from a mentor of mine. Some of you may be familiar with Stu McLaren. He does the Tribe Experience. And I loved this tool. It really, really helped me get out of my head about how hard it was to create content and just get into action with it. So there's two different frameworks you can essentially use. And some of you I know are probably listening to an audio, but those of you that are watching on YouTube, I'm probably going to use my whiteboard back here. So is that all right, Sandra, if I just
absolutely
dive in?
You go for it. You have the floor. Take it over.
So essentially, the problem solution framework is really, really simple. You're going to have a spreadsheet or a list, whatever is easiest for you. You have a problem. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions. Okay? All you have to come up with are 13 problems. So on this side, you're going to list 13 different problems. And then 4 solutions for each of those problems. Which gives you 52 pieces of content to talk about.
That is awesome. And if one solution doesn't resonate with someone or they don't understand how to implement that one solution, then maybe solution 2, 3, or 4 will.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, that is awesome.
Do you mind if we play with this with your niche?
No, that's fine.
What's a common question you get with what you do?
How do you find endless prospects?
Problem. I need
a lot of leads. Because we're told, contact your family and friends. That's what our companies tell us, which does not work. I don't recommend that, and I have a whole different system. But yeah, so everybody, once you've been through your family and friends, then what do? You don't have anybody left. How do you get more leads?
So what's solution? Number 1.
Get on the internet. Get on your Facebook groups. Make friends that way. So that's one solution. And create content that's going to have a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog, create your own content as well. That's going to draw people to you. And you can create lead magnets that are going to solve their other problems with network marketing. And since we all have the same problem with trying to find a lead, if you've got different lead magnets, then that's going to, again, bring more people into your world. Let's see, what would be the 4th? Facebook groups, content, lead magnets. Well, to actually get on other people's channels.
Yeah. Other people's stages. So what's awesome about this, Sandra had no idea I was going to ask her to do that. That's how fast this can be, guys. It's that fast. And it's really fun to do it with somebody. So if you have a friend or you're both struggling to get leads, you guys have a network, use your network. Get on there and do a brainstorm session, and y'all come up with 13 problems or solutions for each problem, and you got 52 pieces of content that you can repurpose.
That is awesome.
It is awesome. I love it.
That is going to help me tremendously in my group because I'm going live in 2 different groups every week. One is simple because I'm just updating them on my entrepreneurial journey since I got laid off in November. So I went live in there. It's Join Sandra Connor, and I told them, look, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you each week what I've done, whether I failed or succeeded, and how it's going. So I'm just documenting my journey in that one. Then I have a MLM Marketing Ninjas, and in that one, I'm actually teaching them marketing concepts and examples of what they can do, how they can build their business better. So that one is harder for me to come up with content each week Because the other, I'm just like, okay, what did I do this week? You know, and I just list it out off the top of my head. I can go live for 10, 15 minutes and I'm done. But the other one, I'm like, okay, you know, it takes me most of the day Friday to come up with something, and then I want it to sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I have to write it out and do the whole PowerPoint thing, and you know, so it's tough. So this is definitely going to help me. I'm going to use this in my own business.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny how that whole batch creating thing, when people say you should batch create content, I'm like, who has time to batch create? That's hard. Like, I'm doing it week to week to week. But, you know, if you just spend an hour doing this, man, it's amazing how much time not having to come up with something every week will save you. I didn't believe it till I started doing it myself.
And you can expand on it because now you've got you can make a lead magnet out of every single thing. Every single Facebook Live, you can expand that. You can make a little mini course out of it, or you can make just a little, you know, PDF, just something that you can, you know, get out to create more lead magnets for your business, for your funnels.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. How on earth did you come up with this?
It's Stu McLaren from Tribe taught this concept.
Okay.
And you know what, guys? That's another thing. Like, teach it to learn it. So when I find something that changed me, like, I immediately implemented this, and I'm like, my people need this. Just give credit. So if you learn something cool, give credit and teach it. It's another piece of content.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I'm constantly reading books and taking courses, and I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, and I'm encouraging them to do exactly what I'm doing in my business, because I'm urging them to buy my courses and to, you know, stay in touch with me on my Facebook groups or my podcast or my YouTube channel. And I'm encouraging them to do the exact same thing. So I want to make sure I'm honest with them, and I'm doing what I'm preaching.
Yep.
Because it just doesn't, you know, it's so much better to learn it from someone who's actually in it and doing it than to just say, well, this is what I heard, you know, instead of, because, you know, you're learning network marketing from people that aren't even in the business. It doesn't work. You know, you need to be in it to understand the challenges that we have. And it's always good to get other people's input and other people's experiences and what they're doing in their business. That's why I'm going to start moving more towards interviewing more people to help get this out. To help, you know, because that's something I wouldn't have had that concept. I may have later, but, you know, it would have taken me a long time to come up with that myself. But by interviewing you, bam, we've got it. We've been on here for 13 minutes, and we've already understand the concept, understand how to do it, and how simple it is to create 52 weeks of content. So there's no excuse to not have your own podcast. Because if you just record one podcast a week, then you've got it.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Is there any other successes in your business you want to share, or anything else you would like to expand on with this concept?
You know, I think just you bringing up the podcast thing is really important. If you have one core piece of content that you focus on, so I'm assuming you do YouTube and podcasting primarily.
Yes.
I do a Facebook Live once a week. Like, that's my bread and butter. Some people do an Instagram Live. Some people do Clubhouse. Like, there's all these different channels you can do things. But especially the minute I focused, I went from $24,000 a year to 10K months. But it's about focus, guys. Pick that one platform that you are going to be awesome at, and use these 52 pieces of content to create one awesome thing a week. You got it. But stick with the process. It will work for you. Pick that platform that makes sense for you and your audience, and you'll see those conversions start coming in.
If someone wants to get in touch with you or wants more information about your business, do you have a link or something you can share with our audience for them to reach out to you?
Absolutely. We have a business accountability and brainstorm group, and it's people from all sorts of niches. We've got some MLM people in there, but it's really people that thrive on wanting to create a community. So yeah, hop in there. That's the best way connect with us is that Facebook group, Business Accountability and Brainstorm, and I'm happy to share the link. If anyone wants to jump in, that's where we hang out every week.
That is awesome. I know I've been a part of that group, and yes, you do need to be a part of that. That is, it's a great way that you run that. It's kind of like a Zoom call, and you've got everybody on where everybody can, brainstorm and talk about what's going on in their business for that week, and it's very beneficial.
It's a fun way to make connections, and you learn a lot from other people's struggles as well. It's inspiring.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Is there anything else before we wrap up today?
I'd say just a final word of encouragement for you guys. If this is in your heart to do, you will have overwhelm. It's not if, it's when. You will be overwhelmed. It will feel like the weight of the mountain is on you. I don't know if I can do this. Imposter syndrome, that happens. Just stick with the process and find your people. Get in with Sandra so she can help you. If you have your people, it changes everything. Get your people.
That is so great to hear you say that, because that has been one thing that has helped me so much, was to hear the Russell Brunsons of the world, the big guys of the world say that they have the imposter syndrome too. Because you feel like that, okay, I'm basically just getting started in this world, and, who's going to listen to me? I don't have anything to say. I don't want to do this. And I swore when I started, I would not do Facebook Live. I would not do a podcast. I would not do a YouTube channel. I was just going to be my own little cocoon, and people were just going to run to me and buy my products just because. And just because you build it, they will not come. It does not work that way. And that's how I got started I built a group, created a group in Facebook, and I started going live in that group. Well, guess what? Nobody's in the group to begin with, so you're going live by yourself. So you don't have to be nervous. And it gets all the butterflies out, and it gets you used to seeing yourself on camera, hearing your voice. Because, that's something I still can't get used to, is watching the videos or listening to myself, because you don't realize how you sound, And I didn't realize how many gestures. I'm very animated. I use my hands a lot. So, but it is great to hear you say that, to keep going through it. You've got to persevere through this, because you will have those moments. You will have those days, and you will have the failures. We all go through it. And then if you can push through it, though, the confidence on the other side of that is unbelievable.
100%. It will change your life.
It will. Mm-hmm. It has. And, I called this my safety net, because I knew that I did not want to be in that corporate America job any longer. I mean, I was making great money. I was a supervisor, and I had perks, I had benefits, I had bonuses, I had all this stuff, but I was not happy. I was so beyond stressed, it was not even funny. And I literally was taking years off of my life by staying in that job. I was having panic attacks. I was so stressed, I could not handle it. But yet, I could not force myself to make the leap. Mm-hmm. And I thank God every day that I got laid off in November, because I was ready. I was ready. I had my course almost done. I was building my business. I knew what I was doing. I was ready to take the leap. And I kept moving my date out. I said, okay, I'm going to, by May, that's it. In May, I'm going to turn in my notice on this full time. Well, May came and went. And I said, okay, after July, I'll get through the holidays, July 4th and all, then I'll quit. And then I was like, well, Thanksgiving. I kept moving it back. And then, I was like, okay, August, that's definitely it. I'm quitting in August. And then I was like, well, because we got paid every 2 weeks. So, there's 2 months a year where you get those 3 checks. So I said, okay, October's my 3 checks. I said, I'm going to get that 3rd check, and then that's it. I'm done. Same thing happened. Well, I'm so close to the end of the year, I might as well finish out the year, and then I'll start out fresh 2021. God was like, enough is enough, stupid. Let's, do this. So I have to have a brick wall follow me. So don't be like I am. If you want to do this, if I can do this, anybody can do this. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to take a leap, and you have to try it. And trust me, you're going to learn as you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have the knowledge that you need to do what you're doing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you step out again, magically, you're going to get the knowledge again to do that next level of your business. And you don't see it when you're first starting. You're thinking you're so overwhelmed, there's so much to do. Because I'm still a one-woman show here. I'm doing it all. I'm doing the advertising, I'm doing the editing, I'm doing the recording, I'm creating the courses. There's nobody to fall back on. It's just me. But it has forced me to learn all aspects of this business. And now when I do get to the point where I'm going to have to hire someone, I know how to train them because I'm doing it right now. And then you know how to answer their questions when they come to you. And then it's going to free you up to do the things that you truly enjoy doing and where your talents truly lie when you hire the people that you need to hire in your world.
Absolutely. It's absolutely a marathon, not a sprint. But it's worth every single step.
It absolutely is. Jamie, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show. I think my audience is going to get a lot out of this. Please share it with your audience, and I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. It was an honor to be on here. Super appreciate the opportunity.